Here's the thing. I like Daisy Ridley too. I can't help but like her, and I don't exactly know why I like her, but I do. And hearing her write this, it's remarkably effective to not to say like simping for Star Wars. I know how pathetic it sounds. Like somebody throws you a little bit of a bone and it's just not a complete and total a-hole. It feels like an abusive relationship with Hollywood when they're decent normal human beings, and people go, oh, I need to reconsider Star Wars. No, it should still be too little, too late. Anyway, Daisy Ridley runs Damage Control, says the Star Wars fans being istophobic has been blown out of proportion. Well, Disney Star Wars has had a lot of money losers lately, so there's probably something more going on with this. Be nice to the customer works. It really is. Compliments will get you way farther than if you didn't use them. But Star Wars, it's still too little, too late. But it's a nice effort. So the thing with Disney Star Wars is you got a big reputational issue here, where this movie kind of has to do well. And say it's a $200 million movie, which is a low budget flick for Disney Star Wars. So it has to hit $500 million minimum, but it's going to go to streaming. It can also make some money there, so the calculations are a little bit tricky. But the issue is the reputational harm for a Disney movie, where the other Solo bombed, and then the other movies did really well. And if this movie comes out and it's just a mediocre movie, then Star Wars, I think you pretty well killed the brand, which is I think what happened. Because Disney now has this reputation of kids and all the kind of rainbow stuff that people are not on board with it, and DeSantis in Florida, and they're pushing kind of Weimar. So yeah, I hope they burn money and go out of business and take off their human suits and just go back to being full out lizards. Oh hey, Space Jesus. It's the same as Luke Skywalker. Oh, for the love of God, it feels ridiculous to have to explain. Did you even see the original Star Wars? Luke had some struggles, the hero's journey. Even at the end, the Return of the Jedi, he was barely able to, his escape from Jabba's palace. Like he wasn't a space wizard. He was barely able to use the Force. He was a Jedi, but he was the lowest. He was just a beginner Jedi. It might take 50 years for him to be a master Jedi. Even Darth Vader wasn't a space Jesus like this chick is. I am all the Jedi. God, that was so effing stupid. Every time I think of the Disney Star Wars, I just can't believe that they wasted. Well, one of the actors is not around anymore, but they had 3 actors together. And they threw it all away because the roundhead guy and that other idiot, we're making feminist propaganda. Yay, feminism, girl power, and a bunch of poxwalks, space lesbians on horses. Anyway, so they killed Star Wars, and Disney's pretty much grooming kids. So, F them. They had Han and Luke, the 2 favorite characters, and they decided to kill them off because they're the wrong colors. And you had, I don't know, POCs basically everywhere doing everything, and lesbians kissing in the background because yikes, my guy, it's current year. There are lesbians in Star Wars. Okay. And then Solo, which wasn't a bad movie at all, actually bombed, which should be, Star Wars should be printing money. Let me just be clear. Hey, Dizzy, diversity is cancer and feminism is cancer. I think more people just need to be honest about that. So she did an interview where she's trying to do a little damage control, and credit to her because, she's good looking, and some people just have that personality where they just, attract people, but there's something about her where, like, Brie Larson is good looking too, but you don't want to be anywhere around her. You just puts off like lizard person vibes, where this Daisy Ridley just seems like a warm, engaging person. Like she's an actor. Use that acting ability to lie to people to get them to see your movies. So she says there are some of the, I would say, extreme Star Wars fans who have made this conversation on the internet about how they don't want a female director. We don't, or I don't want a female director because they're not as good as male directors. Though, to be fair, Abrams and Brownhead Johnson did horrible, so who knows. Which Dreyer opined seems bizarre because episodes of The Mandalorian were directed by females. Yeah, they probably weren't as good as the male directors because, like I said, male directors are probably going to be better. And Kathleen Kennedy has been overseeing all this. Yeah, but she sucked and effed her way to the top, which sounds weird to say now because she's in her 50s or whatever. But when she was in her 20s, she had a rocking little body. And you're in the position of hiring an assistant where you got this one 300-pound guy who's a Star Wars nerd, knows everything, and in the long term, he'd be the smarter choice. The other hand, you have a 25-year-old good-looking chick with a nice body who is willing to go the extra mile for you. You know, people are human, unfortunately, and they make the wrong decision. Like, you'd be better off with the 300-pound guy. But it's not what happened here. So she asserted, I think my take is things get blown out of proportion, and the holy shit, holy damage control, and the interactions that I've had with people have been nothing but wonderful and supportive. I, did not see any of this coming. Honestly, the day that we announced I was coming back at Star Wars Celebration last year, you cannot imagine the joy and goodwill in the room. Well, I mean, I don't know what the tickets are to be in a room with her, but it's probably, thousands of dollars. So obviously it's going to be a little bit of an echo chamber. And there are people who like the Disney Star Wars. I mean, they're panty sniffing soy boys who pay for sex and, cat ladies who pretend to like Star Wars. But you look at them and you're like, oh, so like, did you buy the merch? Did you watch the movie more than once? Do you have the DVDs or the Blu-rays or whatever? It's like, no, it's just something to post about on Twitter. So she says she's only ever been embraced, and I think we're going to make a great film for people. Well, I like Daisy Ridley, too. You're not going to make a great film for people. And I don't know what the gross for the movie will be, domestic and international, but I suspect it's just barely going to make money, and then it'll go to streaming. And then the Disney Star Wars brand will just be kind of a streaming brand for the foreseeable future, until maybe you get the next generation, or until Disney gets bought up by Apple or some other company, or something happens to it. So this is not the first time she's tried to push back against Star Wars quality. Here's the thing: when you say quality for Star Wars, like, this shot is actually a really good example, because the cinematography, the sound, the set design, all the technical side of Disney Star Wars is obviously excellent. They make amazing looking films. It's just the writing is woke Bolshevik Frankfurt School nonsense, pushing themes that are trying to be this globalist crap that is like, can you make movies just like the original 77? Oh no, we're gonna update that for a modern audience. That's the sound of crap. When they say something like that, we're going to update it for a modern audience, or bring it into the current year type of, or open it up to a more diverse audience. You go, yeah, but the original Star Wars sold to everybody. The original Star Wars was diverse. If you go back and watch it, there were people from all around the world who were part of that universe. It just wasn't in your face, and they weren't purse puppies. Where Mary Sue here, Daisy Ridley, was meditating in the air. She was floating in the air, juggling rocks with her mind, doing backflips, and then I think she moved a mountain. And then you compare her to Luke in the original film, you're like, this is just the most overpowered character possible. Luke was barely, I mean, he had a lot of help from his friends, and Mary Sue here didn't need any help for her friends. But so say, like, the writing was bad on Star Wars, maybe the directing, but all the technical stuff was absolutely top notch. So she says it was wonderful thing about those conventions are everyone is really lovely and probably high as a kite if you're at a convention. And I think a lot of the time people online sort of make out there's discourse or whatever it is that actually isn't shared by a lot of people. My experience has always been very welcome. People have been very kind, even if they wanted the story to go here. I think they wanted the story just to not suck dirty vagina, and that's what it did. She said, it's always like a conversation that's respectful. Well, I mean, they're going to say that to you in person. During the heyday of Star Wars, she said, all criticism of Rey as Mary Sue is inherently rooted in sexism. God, why would you say something so stunning and yet so brave? No, it's just stupid and cringy. But that was 2016. That was a whole different environment. So she says, the Mary Sue thing in itself is sexist because it's the name of a woman. Oh, it's kind of a low IQ take. She's told Horowitz on an episode of some stupid podcast. God, can podcasts just die already? Everyone was saying that Luke had the exact same abilities. No, you were way, way overpowered compared to Luke. Rey is incredibly vulnerable, and nothing she's doing, everything she's nothing she's doing is for the greater good. I think you might have got that backwards. She's doing just what she thinks is the right thing. She doesn't want to do some of it. She feels compelled to do it. And so, God, what a stupid scene. God, all this movie. Oh, hey, it's a knife and it's a map and it lines up to a crash shit. God, it was so stupid. The whole movie was stupid. And then what's this guy's name? Finn, who's an idiot. It just total dumb shit. He's the one who gave some interview when BLM was super popular at the time, and he's raising his fist in the air at some protest. Goes, I don't care what happens to me in Hollywood. BLM, BLM. Raise my fist in the air. It's like every corporation, bank, social media company is all pushing this same BS narrative. It means nothing. There's nothing at risk. You're not speaking truth to power. You're not getting debanked. You're not getting kicked off of payment processors. You're not getting anything but accolades coming to you for saying BLM. Say White Lives Matter. See what happens. Oh, suddenly you're blacklisted. Oh, why is that? Yeah, the echo chamber these idiots are in to think. Like, to say Black Lives Matter and you think you're doing something, like why would that hurt you in Hollywood? Hollywood's saying the same thing. Say something else. Like all lives matter. Say that. What happens? Oh, you're done. You're done in Hollywood. That's what speaking truth to power is. But these people are just so up their own ass. They're insufferable. So she's making a new movie, and I think this Finn character, I don't remember his name. He's some dumb shit. Says when he left the trilogy, he said he kind of wanted to stay away from Star Wars. He wanted to go off and do other things. And that is like, are you really not aware how hard it is to get roles in Hollywood? Even if you've been in a big movie, it's not like Hollywood's going to come. It's, really challenging. The idea that you've been in one big movie and you're going to go to another big movie like Harrison Ford. Yeah, he's one in a million that he managed to have an amazing career. It's like, that's not guaranteed for everyone else. And you're no Harrison Ford. Where's I going with this? Oh, and then he did some Wakanda movie, The Woman King or something, where it's the Dahomey tribe is capturing and selling their own people to Brazil or something. And then the French and English have to stop them. But then when they make the movie, they reversed it. So the French and English are the bad guys, and the Dahomey tribe just wanted to sell palm oil or something ridiculous. Which bombed. The movie bombed. And he was in that. I don't know I guess he was the head woman queen or something. So now I guess he wants to go back to Star Wars because it's a paycheck. Because I don't want to go on Disney streaming. Then he's got some bombing movies. Because, a Disney movie wouldn't be bad. It would be kind of cool to reprise the character. Like a paycheck of, $7 million or something for some stupid Disney movie that's barely going to turn a profit. Like, it will make money. People like Daisy Ridley, and the Star Wars name is still a name. But it's not going to be an Avatar hit, or it's not going to be a hit like the originals. It's just going to barely make money. It'll go into streaming. People forget about it, and then they'll just keep making streaming shows until people just tune out of Star Wars in its entirety. God, what a stupid movie! What a complete waste of resources to do this to Star Wars. And then you have this idiot Chinoy, who's, oh God, it's going to suck. It's just going to suck sweaty donkey balls. It's just part of the humiliation ritual. No, you guys got to, Star Wars. Are you ready for the magic of Star Wars? That monster truck announcer voice. Like, no, you F Star Wars in the A, and you gave it monkeypox and AIDS. Star Wars is over. There's nobody, we're not going to pay to see Star Wars. We might see it, but we're not going to pay to see it, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks to the 40 plus new members across the platforms, especially the Odyssey new members. That is absolute titties. People are signing up over there. I love you all. I'll see you guys all next episode.